Hello again, everyone. My name's Annie, and this is my creative detour. I am jumping on today to do a quick tutorial on how I put together these Lindt cards or greeting cards. I did a bit of a change from the last ones. I made some for Christmas, as some of you would know from seeing the other ones. I made these ones for Christmas and gave them all to my work colleagues. And I had a few people asking me how I made them, and whether I was doing a tutorial. So today's the day. So if you're wanting to see how they come together and how easy they are, I'll see you in a moment. Okay, so this is the one that I put together for Christmas. You can see that I didn't put a pocket on the inside. I put a Christmas greeting to everybody, and it's got a Lindt Excellence chocolate in it. And you can see that it's just reasonably thin. They're really quick to put together, but it's just a nice small gift as a Christmas card. So I made quite a few, and you can see that this one here hasn't been embellished, and it's blank on the inside. So I just make them and then stack them flat, and then when the holiday season comes, I've got them all pre-made, and I can just double-sided tape in the chocolate. So I just put double-sided tape on the back, tape the chocolate in, and print out a greeting and put it on there. So that's how I did the Christmas ones. So I just thought I'd put together some for Valentine's Day. And you can see here I've made a couple of Valentine's Day ones. It says love you more, and the inference is that I love you more than chocolate. However, with these ones, I put two pockets in here so that you could put a gift card or a gift certificate of some sort into the first pocket, and then there's a little bookmark for you to write your message on, that they can then keep and use as a bookmark. You can write to your loved one, and the chocolate is obviously double-sided taped into it. So I actually used the Paper Rose Candy Treats Quick Cards kit, and you would have seen some of that on a previous video. I will just grab it here. So I bought the Quick Cards Treats collection and made 16 cards out of that, which I showed on a previous video. So I made 16 cards, and I also bought the cut aparts. And you can see that I've cut most of them apart. I've only got a few sheets left that I haven't cut apart. So I cut them all. Some of them I put glossy accents on and have them ready to go. So yeah, let's jump into the tutorial. Overall, I think that I got 16 cards, and I'll have 4 of these Lindt chocolate greeting cards that I will have got out of that kit. So that's that one. I'll quickly show you the second one. So pretty much the same, different, ephemera. This one's got a Sunday on the back. And this one I didn't make it overly Valentine's-y. I just put a little hello on it, so that you could use it for anything. I will stick a chocolate in there when I actually use it, but I'll probably just keep them flat, and then I can use this for a birthday, or for somebody for a get well or thinking of you. But yeah, they're a good little gift and easy to store until you're needing it to give to somebody. So, all right, we'll get started with the tutorial. I have got most of the preparation done, and I did print off a cutting list. So I'll just do a screen. I'll just hold that for you so you can do a screenshot. You can see that I've done the cutting list in both metric and imperial with some instructions there as well. So I'll just leave that there in case you want to zoom in on it. Okay, so to start, our piece of base is in metric. It is 19.3 centimeters by 19.7 centimeters. So I've cut that down, and then you score at 9.2 centimeters, score, and then again at 10.2 centimeters. So it's just two scores. And in imperial, that's the size of it is 7 5/8 by 7 3/4, scoring on the 7 5/8 side, score at 3 5/8 and at 4. And that's basically your card base. I made this out of 300 GSM paper, which is around about 110-pound cardstock. So it's solid enough for a card, especially once you start mounting all the extra elements onto it. So also we have a few things cut with some measurements. So we have two front and back, and they're 8.9 centimeters by 19.3 centimeters. So two of those, which is 3.5 inches by 7 5/8 inches. Then for the inside, to go in here, we have a 8.8 centimeters. You can see that it's 1 millimeter shorter by 19.3. So if you're doing imperial, just less than 3.5 and 7 5/8, just so we can get it into the pocket. Then I've cut two pockets. We've got one pocket, that pocket one is just less than 11.3 by 6.3 centimeters, or just less than 4.5 by 2.5, and scored on three sides to make a pocket. Most of you will probably know how to make a pocket, and you can see that I have notched this ready to go. The second pocket is 11.3 centimeters by 5.1 centimeters, and which is just less than 4.5 by 2 inches, and scored 1/2 inch on three sides, which is scoring at 1.3 centimeters on three sides. I also have prepped the bookmark. So the bookmark size, you can see on here, is 7.6 by 16.5, or 3 by 6.5 inches. And the white card to go on the front is 7 centimeters by 15.8 centimeters, which is 2 3/4 inches by 6 1/8 inches. So once again, just a quick pause for you to take a screenshot. So let's get started with putting the card together. I'm going to start with making the pocket. I have pre-scored it, and I'll just burnish those bits and cut the corners off and put the pocket together. It is an open pocket at the top of the second one, so it's not too short pockets. It has the top pocket goes all the way down. So when we're cutting the top pocket, I don't fold up the bottom score. I leave it unfolded, so just fold in the sides And I'm going to actually I'll just move this so you can actually see in the background a little bit better. I'm going to leave most of the meat on the corner of the bottom section of the pocket, and that's so that it slides down into the first pocket. So you can see here, because of the notch, I want this top bit to go down in there and hide the gap. I'm just going to prep that. Now what I'm going to actually do is grab the one that is cut that's a little bit less than, and just make sure that it goes in, which it does. So I'm going to actually glue that on, and I use art glitter glue. I love how quick it dries. Gives you a little bit of wiggle room, but not too much. Just going to burnish that down and do the bottom bit. As I said in my previous video, this is my first time, well, this will be my second time at doing a video, which is a tutorial. And I think the challenge for me for doing tutorials is going to be to keep talking. If I have a few quiet spots, just bear with me. I'll get into the routine of talking. So I have pre-cut the decorative paper that goes on here. So for the pocket paper, cut it at, there's two exactly the same size, and I know that doesn't really make sense because the pockets aren't the same size. However, I want the paper to go down into and hide this join. Oh, sorry, hide this notch. So the pattern paper is a little bit longer for the top pocket than what you would normally do for a pocket. So it works out that they're both the same size. I did that on purpose just so it's easy to cut. So you can see that you need two at 8.3 by 4.4, which is 3.5 inches by 1 3/4 inches, and then just notch them. So I'm going to pop that on first and just decide which way I want it. I want it this way. So I glue the pattern paper down. You could ink these if you want to. So yes, what I was saying is you could ink this if you wanted to. I'm not going to worry about inking the edges on this particular project. Now I'm going to trial this going in, and it's catching a little bit. So I'm just going to cut a little slither back off that corner just to give it a little bit of an easy slide in, and cut that off. Glue this paper on the front of the pocket and slide it in so that I'm happy with it, and I am happy with it. So I'll fold that around and glue that onto the back. A little bit of glue on the back. If you hear a few noises in the background, we're dog sitting at the moment. We're dog sitting a Labrador, a brown lab, chocolate brown lab, for some friends, and his name is Fudge, and he is sitting here at my door because he's a little bit thrown by not having his normal routine, but he's a really old man. He's about 15, so every now and then he comes and pushes the door or makes a few noises to say let me in. So if there's a few noises in the background, sorry about that, but it's Fudge. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this on the inside, and you can see that I've returned all of the tabs to the back, and that will be ready to glue in. I might just leave that until I've done the front, because with the burnishing sometimes it can be a bit chunky and bend the card. All right, the other thing that I have here is 2 strips that are the spine mounts, and they're 0.7 of a centimeter, or 7 millimeters by 19.3 centimeters, which is a quarter of an inch by 7 5/8. I'm just going to glue those onto the spine. Now, the front of the card, I'm actually doing 2 pieces of cardstock. Because this most of this cardstock has come from the Quick Cards kit. The Quick Cards paper is 8 1/4 really by 6, and the patterns are running on most of them. They're running so that you can see here, if it's a pattern paper, you would be able to cut a pattern paper and get the height out of it. But most of the decorative sides are designed for you to cut it and make cards out of it because it's a card kit. So what I'm needing to do is I'm actually needing to make this longer to fit on the cover. So what I'm going to do is, here's my cover, and I'm going to just crop off the bottom here and put this on, and then I'll measure and cut the length from that. So I may not have explained that very well, but you'll see what I mean. I'm going to cut this off at that border strip, put that to the side as scrap. I'm then going to get a little bit of double-sided tape and join these two. There's the one I cut. Join these two together with a little bit of double-sided tape. And that will give me a little bit of extra length. I'll snip that off. And now I can measure the length that I need. So you can see for the front pattern paper, we need 8.3 by 18.8 in length, which is 3 1/4 by 7 3/8. Now I've got enough length in that, then I can cut that down. Okay, I'm back. I just had to wait for the cuckoo clock to stop cuckooing. Now I'm going to cut that down once again to what our measurements said. So we're looking for 18.8, which is around 7 3/8. So now I'll cut that off, and you can see I've got a usable piece here that I can put on the back if I want to, and I've got a long enough piece now that doesn't look like it was joined to put onto the front. So now I can start putting my card together. I'm going to glue this together and start compiling the front. All right, I'm going to just glue this down now. You can see that I was able to cut that down to the right length, and I'm now just going to glue it to the front mount. And as you can see, once if you get a bit of an assembly line happening with these, they can come together fairly quickly. So I think that if you'd seen my Christmas one, you would have heard me say that I made 10 for work colleagues. So I did churn them out. I got into a bit of a run with it, and yeah, it came together fairly quickly. All right, we're getting somewhere. I'm going to just now mark the card to put my paper, the tape on, to work out where to put my ribbon. So I'm just marking halfway on both sides, and I'll just pull off a little piece of double-sided tape, stick the ribbon on, and just small amount. Now, before I stick that ribbon on, I just want to see where the ribbon's going to sit in relation to this pattern here and whether I'm happy with that. And I can see that I think I actually want it to go up a little bit rather than where it would be, because I want it to look like it's in the middle of this blue border here. So I'm just going to position that and mark it so that I add a little bit of tape. You can see that that's where halfway was, and I'm just adjusting it a little bit so that the ribbon, when the whole card is put together, the ribbon looks like it's placed just above halfway so that it makes sense with the pattern paper. So I'll peel that off. I have pre-cut the ribbon out of my stash. And I think, I'm pretty sure I cut it at around about 11 inches. And then cut it down a little bit so that once I tied the bow, I cut it down a little bit. Just add a little bit more to the top of that. Fudge has come back. He's sitting back at the door after his little barking stint. He's a sweet dog. He's very slow, very placid, and doesn't really want to be bothered with doing too much at all, which, you know, that's okay. All right, I'm just sitting that there, and I'll just check that I'm happy with that it's sitting where I want it to sit when I glue that on. I think I'll just move it down just a tad. Okay, get the other piece, line it up with the ribbon on the front. And we are over here, as you already know, we obviously are having our summer break, our summer holidays. So there's always lots of busyness going on around the house with it tends to be, because we have around about the children have around about 6 or 7 weeks off school, and most of the rest of us in normal working jobs, we take some Christmas holidays or summer holiday. We call them Christmas holidays here, not summer holidays. I just put some glue on that ribbon just so that it grabs. And because we get so much time off, we tend to make it an opportunity to do some odd jobs around the house, do a bit of a cleanup, and get some things done, get some major projects done. And inevitably it means that we have lots of mess going on. At the moment, my husband is tearing down a wall, a small wall in the house, an interior wall, non-load bearing wall. He's opening it up and putting in some cavity sliders so that the space is more open. So we've got a few projects going on around the house, and that creates a bit of noise and a bit of activity. So it's been a little bit of a challenge to find some time to do some recording. Now, my option here is to align this, and which makes sense when you're looking at the card. Um, but I think that I'm not loving this strip on the bottom here with it. If I was going to use it down the bottom, then I would, but I'm not liking how that looks. So I'm going to actually cut that off and just use the band. And I'll just put some ephemera on the back. So I'm just going to glue that down, line it up with the one on the front. And that will be fine. I'm happy with that. Okay. I'll now glue that pocket one in. Now that I've got the front done, I'll put lots of glue on the tabs. I want them to really stick down and not give way with putting stuff into the pocket. My husband was just looking through the door to see whether I had finished recording, because he's moving trailers and rubbish around from pulling the wall down. I gave him the message, I'm still recording. Okay, I'll just give that a little bit more of a rub. Now the decoration on the front. So that's pretty much ready. I will put a little bit of decoration on it, but this is obviously where the chocolate bar goes, and the front's getting close to being done. So now I just need to decorate it. I pre-cut an arch and then a slightly smaller one that has an embossed effect on it, and I'm going to position that on the front there. I've pulled out one of the cut aparts. So I cut this one out, fussy cut it out, and I'll put a little bit of glossy accents on that. And that will go on the front. So it's just a case of playing with it to see how I want it to look. So that's what I'm aiming for. So it's just a case of getting this positioned where I want it. And I want that about there. So I'll just put a little mark so that I can line that up. So I just glued the die cut these out of some arch dies that I have had for a while. I think I actually picked them up from Amazon. Just some basic sort of arch dies. They're not. They don't have a stitched edge. And then I ran the white one through and embossed it. So I'm just going to center that. Happy with that. Now, the cup itself, I want it to sit on this blue stripe, so it looks like it's grounded on something. So I'm going to sit that there, but I want to lift up the bottom of this so that it is level. I want it to not be dipping down on the saucer. So I just pull out some scrap out of the bin. I tend to just use whatever scrap that I've got lying in the bin. Cut it to a kind of a shape that I need. And that means that I'm using up some rubbish, some offcuts. And you can see that just by sitting that there means that the cup's not dipping down. So I'll just glue that little bit of scrap in. Glue the ephemera on. I love the Paper Rose cut aparts kits or cut apart packs, because you get so much in it, and to be honest, I don't mind fussy cutting, and I like that they have lots of different sizes. of things in there. And because the card is 300 GSM, so I think that's around 110-pound weight, card weight, you can hear it. They're really sturdy. They're easy to cut out, and they have some substance to them once they are cut. They're quite rigid and got a bit of body to them. So as you can see, I'm just going to build this up a little bit so that it doesn't back in frame, so that it doesn't dip down. I'm not talking again, and I need to be talking. I think I mentioned in my last video, which was the one that I did the cards, the card kit, and I did 3 cards in that yes, oh sorry, I'm just going to stop that topic. You can see now that just by packing that up a little bit, it's sitting a little bit nicer on the card. So now I'm happier to glue that down. Okay, so I think I was mentioning that that Paper Rose has released a new card kit, a new range, actually, a new collection, which I'm really looking forward to getting. It's called Bees and Butterflies, and I think it was on the website earlier this week. So I ordered it straight away, and I think that I ordered the quick cards again because I love using those. And I also ordered the 12 by 12 paper and the 6 by 6, and I think I got the basics in it as well. So I'm really looking forward to that. Bees and Butterflies. I haven't actually done a great deal of crafting with bee themed, paper in the past, mainly because I haven't really found any that I really love, but I saw this one and I actually love the color palette of it, the different shades of yellow, and then there's a lot of lovely greens in it. So if you haven't seen it yet, pop on to their website at Paper Rose, www.paperrose.com, I think it is, and have a little look at it. As I said, it just got released the last few days. You can see that I just popped that on some foam adhesive, and then glued it onto this bit that was lifted up a little bit. I get this roll of foam adhesive from Bunnings here in Australia, and it's massive. I think it's around this big, around 35-40 centimeter diameter. Okay, I'm happy with the front of that. I'll probably come back through, and you can see on this one that I put a little bit of glossy accents. I'm not sure whether that camera is picking it up, but I put some glossy accents on the top, and I also used the Paper Rose little crystals and glued some of those around, and put a little bit of twine on there as well. So I'll probably come back in and do that off camera once it's all finished. So the only thing left to do now is to put our bookmark together. So I will just, I'm just going to cut this like a bookmark with a punch. I think that I'll pop on the top here some of this scrap that I have and glue that on, just so that the top of the card has got a little bit of decoration. And you could glue that on before you punch the corners, but either way doesn't really matter. I'm thinking I'd like to use a little bit of scrap. This is the only scrap that I've got left from the Quick Cards kit. I'm just going to glue a little bit of that on as well, just to add a little bit more interest. And I'll just punch that corner again. And I'll glue this together so you can see that it is a reasonably quick project, especially if you cut lots of things together. Maximize your card and your pattern paper. And I think I'll pop a little a piece of the cutter part on the top here. And that can go in there. You'll see on these ones that I put a little notch and put some ribbon in the top. I'll probably come back and do that. And then the last thing to do is to pop something on the back. So I've got the same, I didn't mean to have the same little image, but I do, but that's okay. Pop that on the back so it's got something, and that's it. So there's our little project, perfect for putting something together quickly and perfect for making them, having them in a whole heap made for birthdays or Mother's Day. Mother's Day cards, they'd be perfect. And I just use a good size double-sided tape around about this wide, and I put double-sided tape over the joint on the back here, one on the other side, one down the middle, and then peel it off and glue the chocolate in. But yeah, that's the project overall. I'll tie it in a nice little bow and put some decoration on it to finish it off. But I'm sure that you all can manage to do that without watching me. Okay, so once again, here's our list of cutting, and I'll move all that away so that you can take a screenshot if you'd like to. And I hope that you've enjoyed the tutorial, and I look forward to seeing you very, very soon. Thanks again for watching. I really appreciate it. If you liked the project, give it a thumbs up, and I'll chat with you soon. Bye for now.